performers of Portland Taiko come from backgrounds as varied as the reasons they fell in love with the art form, each striking a delicate life balance to include work, family, and outside interests along with Taiko. Some have even been lucky enough to meet their significant others through a mutual pursuit of Taiko. This is the story of 4 such couples.
We met, Jeff started taking classes at San Francisco Taiko Dojo, and I was in the performing group at the time, so the performers would help teach the classes, and Jeff was one of the students.
My first impression was just that I needed to pay very close attention to Karen because she'll probably save my neck, either through musically or socially.
I definitely remember the first moment that I met Jeff, because I think he was the tallest person that I had ever met in person, and he had these very sort of sparkly eyes. That sounds wrong. But like just very friendly, smiley eyes.
For years and years and years, anytime I talked to a relative or a friend, they would bring up the wedding. You know, that was the most memorable wedding I've ever been to. I've never even heard a taiko drum before.
The procession was Zach's song, Pacific Voices, which is violin and taiko. That's one of my favorites. And it has like these different sections that just really worked really nicely. So that there was this, we had everyone coming in, and then there was a shift, and then I came in as the bride. So it was it's just a song that I love.
We met through Emerville Taiko. Matthew was in the intermediate class when I joined. So we were trying to learn a song, and a few of us needed extra practice to learn. So Matthew came to be the sensei.
We laugh because she remembers meeting me far before I remember meeting her.
He has no recollection of this. Oh, I thought he was pretty cute.
But I wasn't available. And then I was interested in you for a while, but you weren't available.
We started dating in April, and I think by July we had to come clean. Because that's when there were tryouts for people to move up to the intermediate class, and it felt like since he was on the current intermediate students had a say in who got accepted in, so we felt like we had to disclose.
Growing as performers together growing within a relationship, I think was pretty key to us being together.
So we got married at a park in Berkeley. We felt pretty strongly that we wanted Taiko to be part of it.
And Lisa's dress was made by my mother, and made it so that it would survive being played taiko in.
Had to have enough movement, allow for enough movement. It was strapless, and I was so worried about it falling down during taiko that it was made really tight.
The only taiko group that I've played with is Portland Taiko. Christy Oshiro was the lead teacher. I was assisting, and at that time I was so busy with work and taiko practice and all of the demands of my schedule that it was really hard for me to meet people. When Chad came into the class, I was like, hey.
As the class was wrapping up, he sent me an email saying, hey, would you be interested in going to get coffee or dinner or something sometime? I said, yeah, absolutely. And I didn't really know if he meant that in a dating way or not.
I wasn't sure if he was even gay.
I think even after we had our meal, we weren't sure what the motivation was from either of us.
I always joke about this. Whenever we have to tie shime together, that was what the guys had to do. That was our job. for those of you that don't know, the shime is the small drum. It's tightened with rope, so it takes 2 people to pull. And so we would oftentimes get paired together just because of scheduling. But you have to work together, communicate, and I'm kind of bossy, so I would always tell Chad, you're not pulling hard enough.
We knew, this is going to be a trigger for us, so we kind of go to our corners and breathe for a second, and then sit down on the ground and get to work and just try to get as many knots down as we could without cussing each other out.
I mean, we first met, what year was that? 2002, when I first moved to New York. We first met at the Buddhist temple. Yeah, we were 2 of the 5 people under age 50, I think.
We met at the temple, and then also Tracy tried out for a Soul Daiko, and I was already in the Taiko group.
Yeah, so Win taught me how to play Taiko. One of his jobs was to help train the new people. So he's one of the people that helped to teach me how to play.
Senpai.
Well, I worked in the office at the temple, and then since Win lived there, he was always hanging out, and so he would come by and, I don't know, come chat with me. I can't remember when, one day I just thought, oh, hey.
I think that was around the time that I had the band Happy Fun Smile, which is kind of an Obon and festival and kind of old-fashioned Japanese music band. And I wasn't sure if anyone was really going to like us because it's a very strange repertoire, like 1920s to 1960s.
But I thought it was the coolest thing in the entire world.
She would come to our gigs and dance. We would do bonodori in the bars, and she was always an enthusiastic dancer, so maybe that was the beginnings.
A taiko player's life is filled with many time commitments, personal sacrifices, and indomitable perseverance. Despite these challenges, the unifying thread amongst the couples in this story and the entire Portland Taiko performing group is unconditional love for the art form and our community.